My name is Pritika, and I'm here to talk about something that we all have in common and fear talking about often, death. Now you're probably wondering, oh no, this is going to be dark. Well, I hope not. I hope I can bring some light to this often stigmatizing, isolating topic of death. So I'll start with telling you my story. When I was 21, about 3 months into the academic year, I was in university in the UK, I got a call. I got a call from my sister. And just for context, we're millennials, so we text. So when she calls me, that's a little bit of a red flag already. And she called, and I answered, and she said, Pritika, our father's just had a heart attack, and he's not responding. Not responding? What do you mean? He's 57. He has to respond. One of those moments in your life where there's rationale, there's hope, there's worry, there's what's the right thing to say or do or be, all mushed up together. Anyway, I gathered some courage and I bought myself a one-way flight ticket from Manchester to Bangalore, India. And that entire 9-hour journey, I had the flight attendant come up to me several times. She was sure that I was scared of flying, so she kept asking me if I was okay, which was kind of her. But the whole time I was thinking, can you just leave me alone? I've got some crying to catch up on. Anyway, I land, and the child in me is thinking, okay, this is it. Your father is dying. And then there's the adult in me thinking, Pritika, hold it together. Think of the family and the visitors and the arrangements. So I arrived there at the hospital. And my father's lying there on the hospital bed, family surrounding us, and he passes away. And then the funeral happens. And there's tears, and there are prayers, and there are more tears. There are curious inquirers, there are well-wishers, and before you know it, it's all over. And you are thrown back into normal life. Here's what I'm here to talk about. What after? Why aren't we talking about this? How do I just walk back into my academic institution or my workplace or a gym or a social event and pretend like nothing happened? Why don't people talk about this? When I do talk about it, why do people look like that? They don't know what to say, and then they apologize. And hey, I've done that too. But I'm here to share that there's actually light. There's actually light in death too. You just have to look for it. I recently watched this documentary on Netflix called Rubaru Roshni, which really talks about this ability to be able to see peace, find comfort in loss and in grief. It's a beautiful documentary. And I'm here to share that I found peace in my father's death. I'm here to share with you that I believe he served his purpose and he was plucked from the tree, just like a fruit when it's ripe. And you might find this odd. Some of you might find this insensitive. And I'm here to share with you that it was a pivotal moment in my life. It required me to step back and get perspective. And his death actually brought context to my life, to the rest of my life, to the decisions I make every day, to the way I show up at work, to the way I treat my body, to the people I choose. So if you ask me, do I miss him? Certainly. But do I have resent in my heart? Absolutely not. I don't have any quick fix for this, but I have a twofold approach. The first is talking about this openly. Here's the statistics. 100% of us in this room will encounter the death of a loved one. So I talk about it. I talk about it with people who've never encountered the death of a loved one. I equally actively listen and empathize with those who have struggled with it. I share my father. He lives in my heart, and so I celebrate him. I brought him up once on a date with my now husband. I celebrated him at my wedding party in Rome. I brought him up with a stranger on a train conversation in Japan. I even brought him up with a prospective employer. I share him, the things he taught us, the jokes he cracked, and the life he lived. So that's my first. The second is something that I actually coach leaders on at work, which is building the gratitude muscle. Just that ability to be able to step away from whatever is going on around you and deeply appreciate. When food is served on your table, it's a wonderful practice to take that moment to be mindful of the journey that food has taken from source to you. When you get to choose your education or your universities, be grateful for that choice. There are many children and even adults who don't have access to education. When you get to voice your opinion, practice your religion, love and live freely, we must be grateful for that individual freedom we enjoy. And here's what I'm here to share with you. It's important to also be grateful when things don't go as planned. When plans fall through. Because there's disparity and there's injustice in the world, and there are times when people and places don't turn out as we expected. Tomorrow you might be a conservative or a liberal, a right-brain thinker or a left-brain thinker, an atheist or a believer, or a man or a woman in a boardroom. I'm here to tell you, don't alienate people who are different to you. Be grateful for those differences. And the reason it's a muscle is because it requires practice. It requires us to take that moment in our day, find that moment in your day to practice gratitude. And before you know it, you'll be unconsciously grateful. So I'm out of time. I'll leave you with one final thought. I could either have resent in my heart about the early and untimely death of my father, or I could celebrate the life left in me. And I've chosen the latter. Thank you.